All right, welcome to another morning show. What you can learn from a shill is they will show you the patterns, the details on the lies, on the illusion. This is how the shills gain your trust. They tell you some truth. They'll show you, oh, this story is an obvious fake. Look at this right here. You'll be like, that detail definitely proves that's fake. And they will gain your trust upon that. You'll be like, oh God, that guy told me some good stuff. He must be on our side. My advice to you is do not willfully suspend your disbelief. The element of critical thinking requires that you do not suspend your disbelief, especially when you don't really even know somebody. Shills are very skilled and practiced at removing the layers of your disbelief, just like a movie is. There's techniques to do it, just like there's techniques to hypnotize people. It's kind of the same thing almost. So, when you come across some people, some person, some source that's telling you information, especially when they're claiming that something is a lie, right? They're claiming to should be showing you the truth. You must exercise the critical thought pattern and recognize what they are doing. Right? This can be a deep and layered conversation because there are a lot of angles you can come at this subject from. But the overarching subject and emphasis and common thread here for you to protect yourself in search of truth, right, is to notice the patterns, notice what they are doing, look at the skills they are using, the thought processes that they are using when they are breaking something down for you, and just giving you information in general. This is more aimed at recognizing your own thoughts and being self-aware. Because what most people still have is a belief mentality where you want to believe something. And what happens when you believe something is you suspend your disbelief. You willfully suspend your disbelief. In the act of believing, you have made an attachment to something that you believe is true. There is a difference between truth and believing. There's a very big difference. Truth does not require you to suspend your disbelief. Truth can simply be known, and there's no attachment to it. That itself is another very deep subject. What is truth? How do we find it? But this is why there are so many techniques available to people to create an illusion of truth. Because the truth can be very hard to find. Very hard to say, like, this is exactly this. It is. It's very hard to say that with a lot of things. there's a very rigorous process involved to actually be able to satisfactorily say those things and not have to believe it, right? To not have to, well, I believe it, because of this and this. It doesn't matter what you believe. Doesn't matter. Once people kind of recognize that their own thoughts have been programmed, have been conditioned to want to believe things, to want to just suspend your disbelief. That's why we like being entertained. That's why we'll suspend our disbelief when we're watching a horror movie, when it's like, oh, that's so dumb, It's just so dumb. That would never happen in real life. But for the sake of the movie, you suspend your disbelief and you continue watching and you get whatever enjoyment you can out of it. We've been programmed to do that in our daily lives with everything, with all information that you're processing. So what I'm trying to help you out here with, maybe you don't need help, whatever. What I'm trying to illustrate and just draw light to for those who are unaware of it or those who are aware of it, it's really like the nature of reality is what we're kind of talking about here. How you form, it ties right in with right thought, right action. What is reality? What is really going on? And how do you formulate your thoughts around that correctly and your actions? It's a fascinating subject, and it's even more fascinating, not only in theory, but application. A lot of things sound good in theory, but fucking terrible in application. This is one of those things where it's like, actually, no, that checks out on about all levels that we can perceive. So, I actually don't want to talk too long. I didn't really want to record this morning anyway. But that one's been on my mind for at least a few days now, maybe a week, that I wanted to actually put a subject and title and recording on. What can a shill do for you? Because a lot of you probably been following some people for a while and you're kind of realizing, this person isn't really what you thought they were. Now you're kind of seeing that, this person kind of does have another agenda. They seem to be shilling. There's a lot of shills out there. A lot of people being paid to promote narratives. That's what shilling is. Promoting a false narrative. How do they gain your trust? Well, they have to gain your trust somehow, because they have to get you to listen to them. So they give you a little bit of truth, right? They'll point out their own corruption, members of their own corruption, right? Because it's a network we're talking about of shills. They'll just go against each other. They'll act like they're on different teams, but they're on the same team. So what they'll do is they'll show you, this guy's lying here because of this, this, and this. And then you look at the other one, he'll say, this guy's lying here because of this, this, and this. It's like both of them are pointing out valid lies. But what we've been conditioned to do is get caught up in the team nature. Us versus them. This belief versus that belief, which is total fucking retardation. In theory and application. It's so fucking crazy how the society's so into it. Like, I get it gets your adrenaline flowing like a football game, who's gonna win, right? But when you step back and you become self-aware, what's really happening? Like, what's the reality of this? Well, it's fucking retarded, is what the reality of it is. Telling me these fucking sports games are, like, helpful for society? It's not productive. It is totally unproductive in the ways that you guys think it's productive. It's creating a sense of teamwork. Really? No, it's not. It's creating a sense of tribalism and barbarism, where it's us versus them no matter fucking what. It's just so stupid. It's so dumb. Oh, it's fun being retarded. Yeah, I get it. It is fun being retarded sometimes. There is ignorance and joyful bliss, right? That's no excuse to partake in it. Essentially, right thought, right action. What's the reality of the situation? See, I feel like I live in a world where people are fucking totally hypnotized and asleep. The lights are on, nobody's home half the time because they're not thinking, or they're like incomplete, you know? It's just their thought spectrum doesn't include like what's really happening. It's just among the illusion, and it's like, I don't know, it's fucking retarded. But you can learn from these people. We can learn our way out of this. We can recognize what's happening. Society can wake up. All these things are possible. So with that, I'm going to get myself out of here. I hope everybody's been well, taking care of yourselves, and you know what? I'll just see you in the next one.